Now, you mentioned the procrastination. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Um, I just feel like it takes me so much time to create social media content and I
Mm-hmm.
get like no ROI from it. My followers don't grow, and maybe because I'm not, it's a vicious cycle, right? Because I'm not creating as much, I'm not posting as much, and I'm not consistent. So my followers don't grow. I
Hmm.
don't get any like that many views or comments or engagement. And so even when I'm creating the content, I'm like, I could be using my time for something else.
Hmm.
So
I
that's
see.
always at the back of my mind. And I've tried
Hmm.
many times to be like, I'm generally quite systematic about various to-do lists and various things I need to do.
Hmm.
But this one, like I've tried to do scheduling of posts, like create 3 or 4 posts and then have times to put it, you know, actually put it up. But I've just never managed to create it in a consistent manner.
Thank you for sharing that and for clarifying. You're not the only one that procrastinates because the outcome and the results of the investment you put in haven't been large. You haven't seen a huge return on your investment. And so it's natural and very normal to feel discouraged. What I will say to you is in any business, it does take persistence and consistency. If you look at YouTubers and their YouTube channels, influencers on TikTok, Instagram, will there be a select few that you could say just had some luck and exploded and expanded very quickly and grew very quickly? Sure. But if you look at the majority of these businesses, they were persistent, they were consistent, they were on top of it, they kept posting, right? They were relentless. And I forget exactly what the statistic is. It's either 100 or 1,000 on YouTube before you start seeing any kind of positive result. There's a minimum of 100 videos you have to post first on average. Of course, there's exceptions to that, but that's just to give you an idea. So, number one, the good news is that you don't have to have many followers to gain clients. There's this perception that in order to gain clients, you have to have a massive following. And that is not the case. There have been many successful coaches that have even 500 followers and under and have gotten a really great return on their investment for just the content and the value that they're offering. So that's why we're going to be looking at your social media together.
I think it's more addressing that root of procrastination and
Mm-hmm.
confidence in a way, because I feel like
Yes.
there's so much content out there. What else can I add? Even if I use all the tools that I have,
Mm-hmm.
whether paid or free or whatever, there is more of a mindset problem, I think, more
Yes.
than a tools problem or getting content being. I mean, if I get over the mindset, I think I can find enough avenues to get posts and content created.
Understood. And you are correct that a mindset is a big part of it. So let's talk about that. That's why I asked you about procrastination earlier. When you are a business owner, there is it's a path that requires us to be falling down, falling down quite often. And that's why statistically many business owners don't stay in business. Okay. There's many entrepreneurs that give up very easily. And the reason is that the way they approach business is if the outcome is not what I want and something's not working, then that's going to impact how I see my business. That's going to maybe I procrastinate, I lose my confidence. As a business owner, in order to succeed, this is the motto, this is the commitment. No matter what the outcome is, I'm committed to understanding how to gain positive results. So, what that means is that if the results are not producing what you want, you go back, you
Mm.
evaluate, and again, even from business mentors to friends, families, colleagues, even ChatGPT, you can utilize the feedback of others. Say, hey, I put this content out there. I would love your feedback. What do you think? Was it relatable? Right? ask for feedback. And that's why we're having this session, obviously. You reached out, so that's great. But even after you and I have had this session, you can continue asking for feedback from friends, from family, from colleagues, just overall, even on social media. Hey, what would you guys like to see me talk about? What would you like? You could also ask ChatGPT to evaluate your current Instagram and to provide you new ideas. So keep this in mind that being a business owner and having a business, in order to be successful, it's never about negative outcome equals I give up. It's I'm committed to not giving up and I'm going to find a way to make this work. And anytime a negative result is produced, that just means that I'm going to take a step back to evaluate what's going on so that I could find out what works. When you come forward with that kind of commitment, you understand it's not about your business failing. It's not about you doing something wrong. It's about you learning how you can change something in order to grow and evolve. So with that commitment, now you have this renewed energy. And something else that helps, think about every time you get in that place of, well, I don't know if this is working. I don't know. Keep in mind who you've already helped. Keep in mind the voices that have shared with you, Snigdha, that was amazing. Snigdha, this helped me so much. Whether it's from an individual client that you've worked with or whether it was from a workshop. Remind yourself of those. It's easy to forget, and it's so easy to hyper focus on what's not going right. What's not going right is never a setback. What's not going right is your opportunity. That's the differentiation between a successful business owner, no matter what field you're in, and a unsuccessful business owner. The differentiation is one approaches a setback as an opportunity. The other approaches as a setback as a way out and a way to give up.